Hey guys, thank you for joining me. My name is Olivia Darrow and I am with Ayen Cafe. And today I wanted to talk about the silence of heaven. Like, is heaven silent? Because sometimes, it feels like heaven is silent. It feels like God is not talking. It feels like God is not doing anything. There's no movement from heaven towards us. So that was the question I wanted to pose today. Is heaven silent? Have you ever been in a situation where you are trying to talk to a friend or get a hold of a friend and either they're not responding or it's just like, yeah, they're not responding. It's like there are no messages from them, nothing seems to be coming from them. And sometimes this is how it feels with heaven. Like it's like I'm praying to God, I'm listening to God, I'm tuning in, and I'm just like, I can't hear him. Is heaven silent? And I've been going through like some stuff in my life where I was just like, you know what, God, like I'm not sure, like is this, and then there's that whole thing about like 400 years of silence in the Bible, where I was like, am I going through a period of, where heaven is silent in my life? Like, does God do this in people's lives where he talks, and then after a while he just goes silent and nothing is happening. So that's what kind of brought me in this journey where I was just like, does heaven ever go silent? Is it heaven or is it earth? Meaning, is it me or is it heaven? So that's the question I wanted to pose today. So usually when let's say when a friend is not talking to us, usually either they're mad at us or they're frustrated. I mean, I'm just giving some reasons. Or they just have bad connection, right? Like we are not able to connect well because of the lines, the cell connection. Or sometimes it's just because they have nothing more to say. They've said all they can say, and a plethora of reasons. But usually, most of the time, when a friend is silent, it's either because they are mad or frustrated at us, or there's a bad connection, like we can't talk, or their phone is out, the bills have not been paid, etc., things like that. So you hear a child's voice. I'm babysitting, so there's a little baby here helping me talk. So anyway, usually, yeah, when a friend, when there's a miscommunication between two friends, when it feels like the other friend is silent, like sometimes you call it silent treatment or whatever, it's either they're mad or frustrated. But if there are other things happening, it's either the connection is bad with the phone or something like that. So, in regards to now heaven or God, like, is it that he's mad at us? Because sometimes we're like, man, if I'm not hearing from God, because we all hear from God differently. Sometimes it's through dreams. Sometimes it's, we read his word and then we kind of sense him in our spirit. Like it just lights up. We're like, okay, that's God speaking to me. Or he speaks through, what other people are saying to us. Or we listen to a message and we're like, okay, God is speaking to me. Or sometimes we just get that sensation that, okay, he's speaking to me right now. So, but when we are not getting that, uh, does it mean that God is silent? Does it mean that A, he's frustrated with us, or B, he is just has nothing more to say, or is it that the connection is bad? So that's the question I wanted to pose today, because for me, like I'm grappling with this question, and I just wanted to pose it out to see what other people think, because there are kind of teachings out there which talk about the 400 years of silence between the prophecies of Jesus and when Jesus actually came. And I have come to take that, and say like, okay, probably it means that God sometimes goes silent on us because he wasn't speaking according to how people were used to him speaking. He wasn't speaking through the prophets. So people are like, maybe God is silent. I mean, so it has been called the 400 years of silence. And now my question is like, is this fact or is it just feeling? Because sometimes we may feel that God is silent. Is it a fact or is it a feeling? Because this same God tells us that I'll never leave you, I'll never forsake you. So if he's silent, then okay, if he says I'll never leave you or forsake you, so is it that okay, he's not mad? Because if someone, I mean, I guess someone can be mad or frustrated at you and still stay with you. I mean, I don't know. I'm just like posing this out. Or is it that because the fact is that he'll never leave, he'll never forsake, but if he's silent, then what's going on? And then the other thing is like God, we're told that God is consistently like speaking in the sense of like it says, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts, meaning that he is constantly trying to reach out to us. So the question is, when it feels like he's silent, is it fact or is it fiction? Not fiction necessarily, feeling. Because when I'm getting a little bit distracted because of the baby, but I'm back on track. Okay, so like for example, when we have a friend who is not mad at us, is not frustrated at us, but they are silent. We're not able to communicate with them. We don't feel like we can communicate with them well, or we don't feel like we can connect with them. So, the mind starts assuming, okay, probably I've done something. I mean, this is me. I don't know about you, but my mind usually starts assuming probably I've done something wrong. Probably they're upset at me. Probably, all those things. But let's say they're not upset and they're not mad, and so what are the other things? So I said either the connection is bad, like their phone is not working or something like that. I'm trying to reach them, but the phone is not working. Or the other thing, it could be that it's too loud. Let's say we are in a crowd, it's too loud, and I'm like, hey, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to talk to them, but then I can't hear them. So it feels like either they're silent or they're just ignoring me. So some of these things are what I would like for us to think about, like, when it feels like God is silent, because when I feel that my friend is silent, I can start having a lot of wrong thoughts going through my mind if I really do not know the reason why it feels like they're silent. Because feelings are very strong, but like I just feel like they're probably mad at me or they don't want to talk to me and all that stuff. But what if it could be like it's just, and this is now in regards to us and God, what if it's just that we are so engulfed in noisiness. We are so engulfed in so many distractions that he's like calling out to us, but we can barely hear him, because the fact is that he says that if you hear his voice, do not harden your heart. So the fact is that he's constantly speaking. Because if you're just talking and someone tells you, hey, if you hear his voice, do not harden your heart, so it means he's talking. So the issue is not on his side. So what if the issue is in our environment? Like we're just bombarded with so many noises, we're just bombarded with so many responsibilities, bombarded with so many things, that someone is trying to speak to us but we can't hear him. And then to make matters a little bit worse, the Bible says that he speaks in a still small voice. So it's kind of like he's not making it very evident that he's speaking. But I mean, I get, once again, he's the one who burns a burning bush, burns a burning bush, starts a fire on a burning bush to catch our attention. But like what catches me is that he speaks in a still small voice, kind of like in the quietness. Because when he was speaking to Elijah, it's like he wasn't in the earthquake, he wasn't in the wind, he wasn't in those loud things, but he was in the still small voice. So it just makes me wonder that is it that he is actually speaking, but we have so many things going on around us, so much noise swirling all around us, and we can't hear him because of that. So anyway, that was just the question I have for today. I mean, I do not necessarily have an answer, but I just wanted to think this through with you guys and see what you think. And usually when we discuss things, then it brings us to a better understanding of what is fact and what is feeling, so that we live more by facts rather than just what we feel. So guys, thank you so much, and I will look forward to seeing you guys soon. Bye.